Hello, welcome to my channel. That sounds weird to say. I never thought I was going to be a vlogger, but I also never thought I was going to be a writer. Not really, not like a blogger, so I guess life has a way of surprising you. Okay, so in today's video, I want to talk about why I decided to be a writer on Medium. So I think I read one post on Medium a long time ago, like a year ago or something. And I was so impressed by the quality of the writing. There was this woman who was expressing herself and her identity so beautifully and with so much thoughtfulness that I don't know, I hadn't found that kind of material out there, you know, on the internet, as you might be able to relate. So I kept it in the back of my head and I just kind of kept moving through my career. And then I landed a job where I was really, really unhappy. It was a well-paying job. I was on a professional track. It wasn't what I wanted to do. And I just kind of felt like I sit here all the time and I'm bored. I need some kind of mental stimulus, some kind of intellectual stimulus. So I got a membership and I started reading a lot of material on there and I loved it. There was so much good, thoughtful, you know, very, very thought-provoking writing. I loved that. And then I think about a year ago, I started slowly putting my own material on there, and it was a very awkward start. So I'd written some short stories and I put them on the platform under my name. They did not do well because they were not the kind of material that generally does well on Medium. And that's how I kind of started learning how to write for the platform. And while I've tried to create this balance between what I want to write and what works on the platform, it has been an ongoing negotiation. You know, I don't know, I'm not saying prescribing that for anybody else. I'm not saying that that's how you have to do things. Everyone has their own journey. For me though, it has definitely been that negotiation of figuring out, okay, this is the kind of content that does well. How can I do this kind of content while still putting out material that's good for me and that I think is a good message out into the world? So after a year of doing that, I think I can say that I'm pretty happy with having come upon Medium just as a reader, because it allowed me to read so much great stuff. And also as a writer, it helped me start formulating my thoughts better. I started writing more poetry. I started thinking about the world a little bit with more critical analysis, because now it wasn't just like, oh, I'm gonna read this news, I'm gonna take it in, and then it's gonna like be an awful little rock sitting in my stomach all day. It was more like, I read this and now I can think about it and I can do something. Maybe it's not that big, maybe, you know, it doesn't even create a dent in the world, but I can write down my observations, I can write down my thoughts about something, and I can put it out into the world, and maybe it might make a difference to somebody. Maybe somebody might feel a little less alone, or maybe somebody might think of something a different way, because that's what reading Medium articles did for me. So I thought maybe I can contribute in that way. So if you're thinking about getting started as a writer, I would say that don't expect your journey to be, you know, perfect and a straight line, or for it to follow anybody else's path, because we can get advice from people. I give advice, and I definitely have gotten really good advice, which I'll talk about, you know, in some later videos. But I think one thing to remember is being a writer is, by virtue of the career, a very unique choice. And so because of that, it's imperative to accept that it'll be your own. That's it. All right, bye.